understanding that the jury has reached
The second trial of the man accused of killing a Weymouth police officer and a bystander. Let's listen in.
Thank you.
Jim, go slow. Thank you. Oh, excuse me.
Court, deliberating jurors. Deliberating jurors remain standing. Defendant remains standing. All other parties may be seated.
Your Honor, may the record reflect that the 12 deliberating jurors and 4 alternates are present.
Yes,
May I inquire, Your Honor?
please.
Mr. Foreman, members of the jury have agreed upon a verdict.
Yes.
Thank you. May I see the papers? Mr. Foreman, have the verdict slips been placed in this envelope and have they been in your presence ever since?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right.
Mr. Foreman, I'm going to hand you back the verdict slips so that you can follow. Thank you. Mr. Foreman, on docket number 1882CR309, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts versus Emanuel Lopes, the verdict slip, murder of Michael Chesner. In the above table cast, we, the jury, upon our oaths, find the defendant not guilty by reason of insanity, guilty of murder in the first degree by deliberate premeditation, or guilty of murder in the second degree. What say you? Is the defendant at the bar not guilty by reason of insanity, guilty of murder in the first degree, or guilty of murder in the second degree?
Guilty of murder in the first degree.
You check the box indicating deliberate premeditation.
Yes.
Thank you. So say you, Mr. Foreman? Yes. So say you all?
Yes.
002. What say you? Is the defendant at the bar guilty, not guilty by reason of insanity, guilty of murder in the first degree by deliberate premeditation or felony murder, guilty of murder in the second degree, or guilty of involuntary manslaughter, murder, Vera Adams? 002. What say you, Mr. Foreman?
Guilty of murder in the second degree.
Guilty of murder in the second degree. So say you, Mr. Foreman?
Yes.
So say you all?
Yes.
Jurors, 003. What say you, Mr. Foreman? Is the defendant at the bar not guilty by reason of insanity, guilty of the offense as charged, guilty of the lesser included offense of assault to kill, and 003, assault with intent to murder while armed with a dangerous weapon, Sean Murphy? What say you, Mr. Foreman?
Guilty of the lesser included offense of assault to kill.
So say you, Mr. Foreman?
Yes.
So say you all?
Yes.
004, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts versus Emanuel Lopes, verdict slip, assault with intent to murder while armed with a dangerous weapon, Nicholas Marine. What say you? Is the defendant not guilty by reason of insanity, guilty of the offense as charged, or guilty of the lesser included offense of assault to kill?
Guilty of the lesser included offense of assault to kill.
So say you, Mr. Foreman?
Yes.
So say you all?
Yes.
005, Commonwealth of Massachusetts versus Emanuel Lopes, assault and battery with a dangerous weapon, Michael Chesner with rock. What say you? Is the defendant not guilty by reason of insanity, or guilty of the offense as charged?
Guilty of the offense as charged.
So say you, Mr. Foreman?
Yes.
So say you all?
Yes.
006. Commonwealth of Massachusetts versus Emanuel Lopes, verdict slip, carrying a firearm without a license. What say you? Is the defendant not guilty by reason of insanity, or guilty of the offense as charged?
Guilty of the offense as charged.
So say you, Mr. Foreman?
Yes.
So say you all?
Yes.
007, Commonwealth of Massachusetts versus Emanuel Lopes, larceny of a firearm. What say you? Is the defendant not guilty by reason of insanity, or guilty of the offense as charged?
Guilty of the offense as charged.
So say you, Mr. Foreman?
Yes.
So say you all?
Yes.
008, Commonwealth of Massachusetts versus Emanuel Lopes, the verdict slip, leaving the scene of accident causing property damage, Mark Dodge Cobb. What say is the defendant not guilty? Not guilty by reason of insanity, or guilty of the offense as charged?
Guilty of the offense as charged.
So say you, Mr. Foreman?
Yes.
So say you all?
Yes.
009, negligent operation of a motor vehicle. What say you, defendant not guilty? Not guilty by reason of insanity, or guilty of the offense as charged?
Guilty of the offense as charged.
So say you, Mr. Foreman?
Yes.
So say you all?
Yes.
010, Commonwealth of Massachusetts versus Emanuel Lopes. Use of a motor vehicle without authority. What say is the defendant not guilty? Not guilty by reason of insanity, or guilty of the offense as charged?
Guilty of the offense as charged.
So say you, Mr. Foreman?
Yes.
So say you all?
Yes.
011, verdict slip, malicious destruction of property, the value of which is under $1,200. Kendall House. What say the defendant not guilty? Not guilty by reason of insanity, or guilty of the offense as charged?
Guilty of the offense as charged.
So say you, Mr. Foreman? Yes. So say you all?
Yes.
This time, Your Honor, we'd ask that the jury be polled.
To the first two indictments only? Okay. Mr. Clerk?
Just after the first two?
Yes.
Thank you. Jurors at 001 and 002. Juror 153, sitting in seat number 1. Is the verdict that I have read your verdict? Juror 2, Juror 15, sitting in seat number 2. Is the verdict that I have read your verdict? Juror sitting in seat number 4, Juror 56. Is the verdict that I have read your verdict?
Yes.
Juror 5, Juror 64, sitting in seat number 5. Is the verdict that I have read your verdict?
Yes.
Juror 73, sitting in seat number 6. Is the verdict that I have read your verdict?
Yes.
Juror 286, sitting in seat number 7. Is the verdict that I have read your verdict?
Yes.
Juror 366, sitting in seat number 8. Is the verdict that I have read your verdict?
Yes.
Juror sitting in seat number 10, Juror 253. Is the verdict that I have read your verdict?
Yes.
Juror 212, sitting in seat number 11. Is the verdict that I have read your verdict?
Yes.
Juror 121, sitting in seat 12. Is the verdict that I have read your verdict?
Yes.
Juror 13, Juror 128, sitting in seat 13. Is the verdict that I read your verdict?
Yes.
Juror 152, sitting in seat number 16. Is the verdict that I read your verdict? In 16. Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me. Juror sitting in 15, 242. Is the verdict that I read your verdict?
Yes.
Thank you. May I record the verdict, Your Honor?
Yes.
Jurors, you upon your oath on docket number 1882CR001 find the following. On 001, can I have actually the verdict slips back? On 001, you have found the defendant guilty of murder in the first degree by deliberate premeditation. On 002, you have found the defendant guilty of murder in the second degree. 003, you have found the juror guilty of the lesser included offense of assault to kill. 004, you have found the defendant guilty of the lesser included offense of assault to kill. 005, you have found the defendant guilty of the offense as charged. 006, you have found the defendant guilty of the offense as charged. 007, you have found the defendant guilty of the offense as charged. 008, you have found the defendant guilty of the offense as charged. 009, you have found the defendant guilty of the offense as charged. 010, you have found the defendant guilty of the offense as charged. And 00011, you have found the defendant guilty of the offense as charged. So records the verdict. Thank you.
Okay. Jurors, have a seat. We want to thank you for your very careful and thoughtful deliberations. Your jury service is complete. I'd ask that you wait around a few minutes for me. I'd like to just come thank you himself and yours. Thank you.
Court, all rise. Deliberate jurors, follow me.
Court is still in session. Please be seated.
Okay. When do you want to come back for sentencing?
Your Honor, could I suggest that we come back in approximately 3 weeks?
Okay.
Respectfully, Judge, I'd ask for
At least 4?
Sure.
Especially in light of the Mattis case?
I don't have an objection to that.
And are we going to need a whole day in light of Mattis? Or why don't you file whatever you want to file with me beforehand, and then we'll do the time. All right. Can you suggest a date, Mr. Tipton? Four weeks puts us at Friday the 15th. You can go later if you'd like.
Well, March 15th? Oh, no, wait a minute. Yeah.
Attorney Feeney can't do that date. Could we do Monday the 18th or Tuesday the 19th?
Your Honor, could I ask for Tuesday the 19th?
Sure. So we'll block off our afternoon. We'll put this on at 2 o'clock if we need.
March 19th at 2 o'clock?
Yes. Based on whatever you file, if we need more than a half a day, we'll figure it out. Okay. So the defendant's bail is revoked. Anything else, Mr. Connor?
Nothing at this time, Your Honor.
Mr. Tipton?
Nothing at this time.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All rise. Thank you, Coach Tipton.
After 6 days of deliberations, a jury has found Emanuel Lopes guilty of murdering Weymouth police officer Michael Chesna and bystander Vera Adams in 2018. The first trial was a mistrial due to a hung jury. Chesna's wife there in the front row screamed as she heard the verdict and is in tears. You see her hugging family members there. We just heard the judge set sentencing for 3 weeks on Tuesday, March 19th. We will take a break and be back with more news here on CBS News Boston.